And I always explain this to people, I'm like, bro, you give somebody a 5-year, $100 million contract, right? What is it really? It's 5 years for 60. You're getting taxed. Do the math. That's 12 a year, that you have to spend, use, save, invest, flaunt, like whatever, however, just being real. I'm gonna buy a car, I'm gonna give my mama a house, I'm gonna do, everything costs money. So if you spending $4 million a year, that's really 40 million over 5 years, 8 a year, And now you start breaking down the numbers, it's like, that's a 5-year span of where you're getting 8 million. Can you make that last forever? And you always hear the people who ain't us and ain't been in the position, like, oh, well, that would last life.
Famous athlete says $100 million is not enough. We got another one from Hello Yassine. Big up him every single time because he comes with a lot of amazing content. Let's see what he has to say.
What's poppin', y'all? One of the most highest paid NFL athletes, Odell Beckham Jr. But this clip started surfacing of him on this podcast that was talking about handling money as a professional athlete, and a lot of people took offense to it, and I had a bit of a different take. So first I'm going to play you guys the clip, and then we're going to go into a little bit of analysis on it.
If I didn't have $1 in my account right here today as we speak, I'm going to be straight for the rest of my life. No question, right? I don't think everybody is in that. And when you've sacrificed your whole life to get here, and you're like, yeah, I played 10 years in the league. And I always explain this to people, I'm like, bro, you give somebody a 5-year, $100 million contract, right? What is it really? It's 5 years for 60. You're getting taxed. Do the math. That's 12 a year, that you have to spend, use, save, invest, flaunt, like whatever, however, just being real. I'm gonna buy a car, I'm gonna give my mama a house, I'm gonna do, everything costs money. So if you spending $4 million a year, that's really 40 million over 5 years, 8 a year, And now you start breaking down the numbers, it's like, that's a 5-year span of where you're getting 8 million. Can you make that last forever? And you always hear the people who ain't us and ain't been in the position, like, oh, well, that would last a lifetime.
So the original caption where
Interesting. So I think I have two opinions on this, right? So my first take is obviously I'm assuming what majority of people are basically saying when it comes to this guy in particular, right? Is that, oh, that's a lot of money. Like, where is it going? How are you managing it, etc. But when he's breaking down the match, you can clearly see that, number one, the guy knows what he's talking about, bro. Like, how many people can break down maths? Like, I know it's simple maths, right, for regular people, but how many entertainers, for example, are going to break down the maths, look at the tax, look at the business structures, and look at, obviously, being realistic as well, the fact that at that type of lifestyle, you're going to have to actually spend on flaunting, etc. as well. And I know on this channel, we're always talking about, for example, being financially literate, but it also depends on the type of lifestyle these guys are trying to live. Because imagine if you're a football player, imagine if you're, let's just say an entertainer just in general, right? And you're making a lot of money, but you're not spending at least a tiny bit of it to look the part. It could be a bit techie for you, You won't necessarily get, put into certain rooms. You won't get certain networks. You won't be able to actually broaden your horizon with certain people and certain brand deals, etc. So, of course, be tactical about it. You don't have to overspend, actually do the mad thing. But a portion of it needs to be reinvested back into yourself, which is, of course, at this point, someone like him, he's a brand, he's a business, so he needs to have that as an expense. Now, when it comes to what majority of people would basically say is that, oh, yes, it's a lot of money. Why are you spending that? If I had that type of money, I would probably do this and probably do that. But let's be real. Like, how many of us have even touched a mil, let alone the type of figures he's talking about? We don't know what we'll do. We don't know what we'll do. Like, let's be real. And a lot of the time as well, people say that, yeah, they want to become a millionaire. But in reality, it's not that they want to make $1 million. They want to be able to spend $1 million. That's all it is. That's the reason why the average person that gets a lottery, for example, or wins a lottery, what are they doing? They are literally going broke within a matter of time, within a short period of time, actually. And that's also the reason why a lot of athletes and entertainers, they go broke within the first 3 to 5 years, because when they were at their peak, they were making up much money. Their lifestyle's elevated to a point that, like he said, imagine if you're spending, let's say, $8 million a year. You're making 12, you're spending $8 million a year. But guess what? It's a 5 to 10 year contract. After that period of time, what other businesses, what other things can you basically do that's going to sustain that to that period of time? I'm assuming this guy probably got a few investments. Even if it was to put it in like a high yield savings account, just a simple high yield savings account, bro's good for life. Do you know what I mean? If you put that there and just literally lived on the dividends, bro's good for life. So I hear both sides. Where some people are going to be on a vibe like, oh, the wrong people get that amount that amount of money. But at the same time, it's like, bro, we're not in these type of positions to even understand what's going on here. But let's see what Yassine has to say.
I first saw this, not the original, but where I first saw this was on my mixtapes, and they said Odell Beckham Jr. talks about the struggles of a $100 million contract and how the money doesn't last forever. Keep in mind, in the beginning of the clip, he says, if I didn't have a single dollar sitting in front of you right here as we...
I would be good. That's literally what he said. People don't listen, bro. Like, it's crazy. So he's not saying it from his perspective. He's saying that, look, it's not for me, it's for the people around me that are making this type of money. Listen to what I have to say. So it's not even a conversation for us. You know what I mean?
Speak, Odell Beckham Jr., is going to be straight for the rest of his life. And then he goes on to say, look, all of these other people, a lot of these other people in the league, they may not be in that same position as me. Many are not in that same position as I am. So he's making it known that he's the guy that he's handled his situation and he doesn't have to worry about finances ever again, which is impressive. However, a lot of people started spreading this around like him saying it wasn't enough. Like the 100 M's he got isn't enough, because he goes on and breaks it down, the money aspect of it. But first, before we go and break down the money aspect, I want to get to the tweets that Odell sent out himself. So he says, boy, you can't say nothing in this world nowadays. That's why I've been in my own lane, my own world, and put out the way. I'm guessing that was a typo. People love to take ish completely out of context to rationalize a statement in their own head that makes sense to them.
And I agree, man. I agree. I think the first thing that I was thinking to myself was that, bro, at his type of bag, there's no benefit to even coming online and talking about that, bro. Because let's be real, like, majority of people don't have it. That's the majority of people. So even when you're talking about, let's say someone talks about, cool, like they've made 6 figures, for example, bro, as much of people, you know, that would like to watch their content and learn how to make the same type of money, the amount of people that will hate on that and be like, oh, why are you talking about money? Oh, I'm not in your position, and start making so many excuses and things like that is ridiculous as well, you know? So when you're not talking about multi-millions, bro, we're talking 100 M contract. What? That's ridiculous as well. You feel me? So there's no benefit to him coming on the podcast besides, obviously, yeah, I just generally don't see any benefit in it. I feel as if though this is a message that he could have easily just said to people around him and just been like, look, you're in this contract, you're in the contract. But at the same time, imagine how many times he would have to say that. I don't really know, man. But yeah, you can't really say anything nowadays.
What a world. And then he replies underneath a tweet that he sent out on March 17th, 2022, which is nearly 3 years ago. And on that day, he said, as if I needed more motivation. I'm gonna make my son proud as F when I'm done with all this. From what I did on the field to the way I handled all the other ish that came with it. Zidane, son, I love you, and daddy gonna make you proud. I mean that. And then the recent reply was, of course you wouldn't understand what I'm saying. So this is also in reference to this, saying that 3 years ago, he was talking about how he was going to be straight on or off the field regardless of what happened. Now, I put out a tweet saying something that was, because keep in mind, like the basic instinct, our gut reaction to something like that is, come on, man, you can't handle 100 million, poor you. And sure, that's the initial response that I would have. But as you see more situations in front of you, as you begin to know more people in these type of situations, as you begin to build up some empathy, yes, empathy for rich people and athletes, well, I know it's a shocking concept, you start to see some of the challenges that they have to deal with that others do not. So I said,
and that is facts. Before he goes into this, right, it's facts, because you got to realize that, bro, at that type of point, yeah, you're no more in a position where you can even just ask just any random type of person, okay, how do I even deal with my money as well? I know a lot of us, we come to the internet and we're always on the vibe, like, oh, if I had this and never had that, etc. My bro, I've said it to you guys multiple times. When I made my first 6 and I lost it, I made a video about on this channel. Bro, I was asking people every single day, yo, do you know a financial advisor, a good one? Do you have like a good accountant? Do you have this? Do you have that, etc.? And bro, even people around me, that's the reason why I don't want to take things personal anymore. Cause I just realized that, bro, people will want you to win, but maybe not as much as they do, bro. It's life, innit? But broski, when I was asking all these type of people, yo, how'd you do this? How'd you do that? How'd you do this? How'd you do that? Bro, no one helped, fam. You know what I mean? One or two of the things that they would say was on the vibe of like, oh yeah, try to put your money into something like crypto. But bro, like, yes, you can put your P's into crypto, but what else? What's going to sustain the longevity? What if I put my P's into crypto and I lose everything? You know what I mean? Like, you feel me? But anyways, bro, it's ridiculous. So that's one thing. And outside of that, also with financial advisors, bro, you got to realize that these account managers, etc., they're incentivized to get the biggest accounts because that's how they make money. Not every single account manager, not every single accountant, not every single person just in general is actually good at their job and actually cares about your longevity as well. So realize that, man.
Everyone is calling this a skill issue, sure, but how the hell are they supposed to have the skill? Just hire a money manager, bro. And how do they know which one to trust that isn't stealing from them? Like,
I literally just said this, fam.
for example, Gilbert Arenas, if you watch any of his interviews that he's done a lot on Vlad. They are excellent interviews. He talks about having a guy that was stealing money from him. And then the immediate reaction you get from the average person is, yeah, because he hired his mans from college. No, these people are hiring professionals. There are professionals that...
And that's the thing, because even with the professionals as well, bro, they understand how to literally wipe you out, but do it in certain type of ways that maybe they won't even get in trouble for it, or it's going to cost you way more to chase that money versus, for example, you know what I mean, just taking the L on the head. But bro, you still lost a lot of money, you know what I mean? It's a crazy world we live in. It's a very, very crazy world. And then when we ask questions of, okay, why is it that certain cultures are able to sustain themselves and sustain their wealth, is because they support themselves, bro. They have infrastructures and say, you know what, us man are rich. I got a cousin that's over there. I got a family friend that's over there. I got this person that's over there. Go to them. Go to that person. Go to that person. Don't go to that person. Don't go to that person. Don't go to that person. When it comes to our community, let's say the black community, for example, how many people realistically can we go to, bro? It's techie, fam. It's techie.
Are skimming off the top. And they're like, hey, I have an opportunity to take advantage of this guy. Why wouldn't I? And when you're an athlete, and I continue and say, these accountants, managers, agents, etc. have decades of experience dealing with athletes. The athlete has zero experience. Nobody wants to admit it's really hard to handle career and finances when it comes in one shot. Not to mention their full-time job is to be an athlete, which takes mental and physical effort.
And that's the thing, bro. Being an athlete is not easy. People think that, oh, all I need to do is just run around on a pitch all day, etc. Bro, do you know how much pain these guys put themselves through? I personally don't know any like NFL players, etc. I haven't touched the American type of region yet, right? But over here in the UK, I'm friends with a lot of footballers, for example. And when I see what these guys actually have to put themselves through, waking up early, doing training all day, going in the gym, eating mad clean, etc. And then also these guys are young guys as well, so once in a while they're gonna want to go to, you know, Eden Lounge or a party or something like that, you know what I mean? And it's one of those ones where it's like, bro, a lot of the time we're being very unreasonable and thinking that us in our normal life, we can literally compare our life to someone in that type of lane. It's impossible, bro. We live two separate lives entirely. It's the same thing that happens in the music industry as well. When people are always on a vibe like, oh, why is it that musicians are always going broke, etc., is because number one, the label system is a scam anyways. Number two, if these guys are getting their money, right, again, they're going to want to do certain expenses, right? Get a car, do this, get a house. Then you also got the survival's guilt, right? Or survivor's remorse, where all the people in your hood, you're thinking, oh, damn, I need to put this person on, put that person on, etc. And even the people that you grew up with, your family, your friends, they won't understand that, bro. Just because I have money right now doesn't mean it's going to sustain me, let alone the entire village, bro. Do you know what I mean? And outside of that, it goes back to this issue where this man is literally saying right here, where, bro, it's literally people with decades of experience versus people with no experience. This game is not easy, bro. People are really, really out here to fleece you, bro. Do you get it? Because there's a lot of money on the table.
I want to compare this to music because I do think there are...
Bro, it's like me and Yacine just in flow state, you know? Bro, I literally just said music is what crazy.
Couple of similarities and a couple of differences. One of the similarities being that the money comes in really fast. Now, a lot of people are saying stuff like, oh, you know, he could just invest into this type of thing and then it'll grow year over year. And then you've got...
And, do you know another thing as well? Yeah, guys, I'm just going to end the video right here. Yeah, leave the link down below. Another thing that annoys me as well is that the people that give advice are people that have never done it. You know what I mean? Even that's the reason why I say, bro, I can't relate, bro. Making 100M. What? Like, eventually, bro, maybe like, I don't know, 10 years or something, I'll be like, yo, I could have done this. You feel me? But right now, bro, what? 100Ms. That's life changing generational wealth. Do you get it? So a lot of the people that's talking on the internet and hating on bro, they don't know what they're talking about. They generally don't. Because if you did, you'll be in this position making money or making similar. And I always like to say, people that are doing better than you will never ever talk down on you. In fact, they will either put you on game or they'll stay quiet because they don't want you to do better than them. Simple as that, right? My people, them, if you like my commentary or anything that I've said within this video, make sure to leave a like to boost up in the algorithm. We're growing this channel very rapidly. Also, comment down below. Do you agree with anything I said? Do you disagree? Let me know, man. Put me onto more clips as well. And outside that, we're growing this army. So make sure to subscribe and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.